I had my son kidnapped from me. She violated court orders, she broke the law, and she currently has a warrant for her arrest and can't come back to the United States. And I was very sad and very depressed by all this, naturally. And I saw many lawyers and I saw many doctors. And they all said, there's really not much we can do to get your son back. If it's in your power, you gotta move on. You gotta let him go and move on. So that's exactly what I did. Now, a lot of people might say that that's heartless, but what's worse, sitting around depressed and miserable because I got screwed over by family court and a crazy lady who kidnapped our child? No, I wasn't going to sit around. I went online and decided I was going to not give up, that I deserved to be a dad. And I thought that there would be a really fine woman out there who would make a great mom and a great partner. Nothing wrong with having those goals. You start with those goals and then you work on relationship, then you work on compatibility. And I think it was fate, I think it was luck. But Jayanne and I met on OkCupid on February 19th for me, 20th for her, yeah. 2020. And we really hit it off. I was very honest in the beginning about where I was in life, what had happened, and what I wanted. I was very clear that I wasn't just looking for another young Asian lady to fulfill my baby daddy wishes, that I understood the risks, that I understood how serious it was. Was she down for it? And we had a long time to discuss it, because right after we met and I had bought some tickets to go to the Philippines to meet for the first time, what happened?
Pandemic. It's lockdown everywhere.
Pandemic hit. I don't know.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amaomi, aka Petite Diva, and in this video we are discussing passport bros, and this video is inspired by a particular passport bro who got screwed over by his Filipino wife. Now, this guy has been posting videos of how he went to the Philippines and he married a woman from the Philippines, and how they are coping in America and their family dynamics. And he came online recently to talk about the fact that after 2 years of his wife being Americanized, whatever that means, she has left him.
Well, it didn't take long. It only took 2 years, literally to the day, December 27th, for my Filipino wife to become fully Americanized, hate everything about me and what I provide, and decide to leave. Yeah, welcome to the shittiest post that I'm ever going to make. There's a lot to it, and I'm not going to go into it, okay? But suffice to say, after providing and going on the Disney World trip, which included the funeral for my mom, I got up to day 6, I think, on that, because it all broke down at Magic Kingdom. Fucking ironic. And I didn't post anything after that, because when we got back from Orlando to St. Simons, Georgia, I was greeted with the announcement from Jayanne that she wanted a separation. And then I discovered through text that she had been discussing this with her family and making plans to also take the children. So, that's heavy, right? That's a nuke. And I'm gonna go into my bunker. So I came downstairs in my nice 4-story mansion and just stayed by myself through Christmas Eve and through Christmas Day. And I missed Christmas with my children. my in-laws, my mother and my father-in-law, and Jayanne, they proceeded to open the presents without me. Presents of which, all of which I bought. Yeah, the separation is a separation. I'm lucky enough to have a big house, and the logistics of it can be met right away, but I spent Christmas utterly by myself. And it's coming up on New Year's Eve, and I'm still alone. Because there's no communication from her. Why? Because she's communicating with her parents. She has the total backing and validation of her parents. Plus TikTok. All external sources of validation, and it's my position, my feelings are not relevant. She's got it figured out. She's got a plan. I'm waiting to hear what the plan is, and we'll see what happens from that point. But I'm pretty I'm at peace with what has occurred, what could occur. I am done being Mr. Fix-It. Fix-It Felix. I'm not going to be the simp, nice guy, Fix-It Felix anymore. A relationship takes two people. And she made the decision for the separation. She's made the announcement and made plans with family to take our children back to the Philippines. And she's an adult. She has accountability. It's on her to come to me and explain to me what her plan is, such that it is, and what can be done about it. So, surprise, no more countdown with the great fun in Disney World. It was a fucking disaster. And, that's the truth. Social media is not about the truth, but I'm about the truth, so that's what I give you. Thanks.
Now, quite a lot of people had things to say about his situation, especially the fact that there was a video that he and his wife made, majorly his wife made, where he was replying someone who said that his wife was just with him to get a green card.
Americanized Filipino wife, 58-year-old Chad to Dad, has come on the internet and has pled his case to the people of TikTok, you and me, because his 28-year-old Filipino wife has taken his and her children with her to the Philippines and has verbalized that she would like a divorce. He is now on TikTok, I'm assuming, trying to garner empathy and sympathy from us. What do you want us to do, sir? Why are you looking to win over the people of TikTok? I always question people that do that. And then you said something that made my ears perk up a little bit. You brought up the fact that her parents disrespected you first, and then in another video you said all women have to do is drop the A word and people automatically believe them. Why is that some of the first things your mind goes to, sir? Huh? Seems a little questionable to me. I pray for the kids, but contact your lawyer, sir. We can't do nothing.
Y'all, I am reading y'all comments. This man is not good at all. I mean, I knew he was a passport bro, so I know he wasn't good, but oh my goodness, look at the stuff he's been saying.
There's no birth control in the Philippines. Young Filipino women have not, this is going to sound gross, but they haven't burned out their ovaries with birth control. It's not a thing there. The whole taking care of their bodies is a lot more prevalent in the Philippines. They don't even use tampons there, it's only napkins. So that's a big reason, is that there is a sincere effort by, I know, American men to start families, and you have a really good shot of doing it with a woman from the Philippines.
This is Jane, and she's the wife. Jane, I am so sorry, honey. We need to hear your truth, whatever they are, whenever you're ready. I know you made a post, but it is obvious to me that he was using you. And unfortunately, to me, passport bros are just another form of trafficking. That's my opinion, y'all, but honey, you have to heal, and I am so sorry. I know you have kids by this man, but oh my goodness. I'm looking forward to hearing your truths, because this is too much.
I can think of one passport bro whose new year is not off to a great start. I just finished watching a video of a man. He looks like he's maybe late 50s, early 60s. And he is saying that it took only 2 years for his Filipino wife to become fully Americanized, to use his language, and to ask for a separation from him. She actually asked to separate from him on their vacation to Disney with their 2 children. And in the video, he mentions that he lives in a mansion, and also that the house, because it's so big, it has 4 floors. When they came home from the vacation to have their Christmas, he actually decided to sequester himself in the basement. And she, with the 2 small children, they look like they're 2 and 1, something like that. And her parents decided to actually have Christmas and open gifts. And he talked about how he was so angry and he was left out of Christmas. If you decide to sequester yourself and isolate yourself in the basement, you're leaving yourself out. Because this story is so grandiose and has all of these hallmarks of narcissism, I do some more digging. And from what I understand, she's 22 years younger than him. All of the videos he has, it is him, all about him and grandiosity. Look at this thing that we're doing. Look at our life. Look at our mornings. He did a bit where he's pretending to be a sergeant to his 2 toddler children, and she's just kind of everywhere in the video. She's there in the video because she's got to be shown off, but she's in the background. He is always in the foreground. There's even a video where she's holding the camera because he's driving, but it's focused on him. There is even a video, I shit you not, that he took at his mother's funeral. Again, lots of hallmarks of grandiosity and narcissism. I think the best part of it all is he's saying that, you know, she may go home to Philippines and take his children with her, and you know, that how upsetting and how horrible how could she do this to me? Well, aside from whatever you've done to her, in the beginning of the video, he complained about her being fully Americanized and all of the influence and bad influence. You know, that if she wasn't Americanized, she would have never asked for this divorce.
He canceled her trip to the Philippines. He canceled her trip back home because he said she didn't deserve it. The more I've dug into this, the crazier it gets. At this point, Jayanne, we'll get you to the Philippines, because I don't trust him. And let me tell you something, he's trying to smooth some stuff over. There's been silence too long, and I know he just released this video, but I feel like he's trying to bait her back and just different tactics. Like, it's going to be the calm before the storm. No. Jayanne, listen to me. You do not need this man. This man used you, abused you, and will continue to do so. This is not love. He wants to act like a savior. He is not. If you need help getting to the Philippines, we will get you there. I know TikTok will get together. We will get you back home, because you're safer in your family's arms than in his. Believe you me, this is the downfall right here. So sorry, I've been crocheting and I didn't want to leave you guys hanging this long. Okay, part 2. So apparently he was married not once, not twice, but I believe 3 times. He then meets this woman here who's from Vietnam. Now there's a lot of back and forth with their story, but apparently she gives birth to his son and then leaves. This is the story he wrote about that. I rose and shuffled to the edge of the crib and reached to the side, expecting my son needed shifting in a more comfortable position. wanting to touch him and let him know I was there. His cooing stopped, and I returned to bed. I woke up 2 hours later. There was no alarm. There was no sound, not even Rock cooing. Or was there a sound? Something woke me up. I leaped from the bed to the crib. Rock was gone. I grabbed my t-shirt from the day before and put it on as I headed up one flight of stairs, and then another, to the bedrooms, to the baby room. Now, I'm confused because I thought you was already in there. You know what? Rock was there, still asleep on his mother's lap as she sat cross-legged on the floor. I contained my rage and just looked at both of them for a minute. There's more, I'm sorry.
This man came onto social media, specifically TikTok, to try to shame his Filipino wife, saying she wanted to divorce him the day she got her green card. Sir, I'm pretty sure you pursued this arrangement. The thing about ditching American women to find love overseas is just that. It has to have love. It only works for both people if love exists. We all know you can't buy love. And I'm not talking about this couple specifically, but in general. But I'm guessing that you wanted a traditional wife in this arrangement. One that cooks, cleans, washes laundry, and pops out kids for you. And expect love. But sir, that's a maid. The way he was talking about how big his house was, that was just so off-putting to me. Bro is like 20 years older than his Filipino wife, but acting 20 years younger than her by holing up in the basement, coming onto social media, and then demanding his wife responds on TikTok. I don't know if he was trying to make a show of it, but to me that was like a tantrum. Anyway, Earl, run. Run as fast as you can.
Completely. The level of delusion that these passport bros have to live in to make this arrangement seem like it's based on something genuine and love-filled would be tragic if it weren't so exploitative. Because as a passport bro, you are on borrowed time, right? You don't see this other person as a human being. That's why you used your power and privilege and money to have some leverage over them. Their leverage over you is time, right? And so many of these passport bros have found themselves in these situations where they convince themselves that these are the women who will love them for what they provide and their money, etc. Key thing here being not for who they are as a person, because they've probably refused to evolve and grow as a person and become a legitimate, decent partner to women. When they were dating women where this wasn't the arrangement, they probably got a lot of feedback from women saying, this doesn't work for me, and your inability to be my partner in these ways doesn't work for me. And they went, well, I'm going to refuse to do that. And so they find themselves in these passport bro situations where they believe they found the formula. The formula is power and privilege is on your side of the arrangement, and time is her leverage on her side of the arrangement. Because once she's had enough time there, and she's been able to get herself into a different arrangement where she can be independent, she's gone. It's almost like we should be listening to women instead of just, I don't know, ending up in the same tragic, lonely patterns.
I know this is a green card marriage, and I'll tell you why. When a U.S. citizen marries a woman from another country, she gets what is called a provisional green card. That means the green card expires after 2 years. And after 2 years, immigration officials go back to make sure these two are still married so she can get her permanent green card. You think it's a coincidence that after 2 years she wants a divorce? No, that's because she got the permanent green card. Yeah, she no longer has the provisional green card anymore. She can legally divorce him, and she is now here to stay. This is a green card marriage. And a lot of you might be saying, well, she had children with him, so she had every intention of being with him forever. Having children means absolutely nothing. A lot of these women do want to have children here in America. They do. And he looks like he has good genes. Why not? Could this have been a genuine marriage where she wanted to make it work until the end? Sure. But 9 out of 10 times, these are green card marriages. The fact that she waited 2 years, it's no coincidence. She initially received a provisional green card by immigration officials. And after 2 years, they revisit the marriage to make sure there's no fraud. And only then she receives her permanent green card. This is a green card marriage.
And decided to leave. Well, what did you expect, Chad? You're a passport bro. What did you expect to happen? Did you seriously think a young, beautiful 20-something-year-old girl really wants to be with you? You went as a passport bro to a foreign country hoping to find a woman that's younger, submissive, that you can control, that you can do anything. Some woman that is not Americanized, as you say, because we all know that passport bros like yourself couldn't cut it here because women your age in America already can see all of the red flags that you have and all the other passport bros have as traits. But it took her 2 years to finally figure out exactly who you are. I'm sure she already knew who you were the whole time and was just biding her time. But I gotta say, I'm happy for her. And this goes for all of you passport bros that are a lot older trying to find these young women to be with them. They don't really want you. They don't find you attractive. They don't want anything to do with you except your money and to get into this country. And I love that for them. I think it's 100% fair what they do because you go to their country hoping to get some underprivileged, uneducated young woman that you can control and manipulate, and then they can turn it around because women are smart, they evolve, and they'll learn how to do things. And this is exactly what happened to you.
So this guy right here, Jay, is going viral because his Filipino wife, who he brought over here and married, her name is Ann, is filing for divorce after 2 years of being here. Now, Jay is catching a lot of flack because he's a passport bro. Now, people have a lot of misconceptions about passport bros. Before the passport bros that choose to bring their wives over from whatever respective country that they met them in or dated them in, I would advise not to. So he's complaining that she came over here and after 2 years, she's been Americanized and she will not allow him to see his kids. And they live in the same house. And her family is also there. And he's basically locked away in his bed, in his basement. So I would say this to men that are going to marry overseas or marry someone from overseas. Let them stay in the country that they're in. If you're concerned about them becoming Americanized, just allow them to stay wherever they are. Colombia, the Philippines, Thailand, Africa, wherever. Do not bring them to the United States. And then you don't have to worry about going through what Jay is going through or worry about them becoming Americanized. Just let them stay there. You can go back and forth, or you can become an expat and you can go and move there. Problem solved.
Anyway, his video went viral. The video of him saying that after his wife was Americanized for 2 years, she has left him. She has been discussing with her family how she wants to leave, how she's taking the kids to Philippines and everything. It went viral. Now, his wife, who also has a TikTok page, decided to do a video to explain a side of the story and counter some of the claims or some of the things that he said in his video.
Filipino wife to become fully Americanized.
I think the word Americanized has nothing to do with someone who is disrespectful, especially to your people. Let's say that your closest people. It's because he disrespected my parents, screaming, snatching some things verbally and physically. So what I am thinking that time, you are freely disrespecting me and abusing me. I think that's enough. You can do it. You can do it 24/7 to me. You can do it anytime. But to the point that you're gonna be disrespecting my people, especially my parents, I think that's what, draw the line. I think that's when the time that I said I want to separate. It's not because I wanted to separate just because I wanted it. I've dealt a lot with him for the last 2 years that I am here.
We got back from Orlando to St. Simons, Georgia. I was greeted with the announcement from Jayanne that she wanted a separation.
For the last 2 years, I am standing up for myself. I know it's really difficult because I have children, and I honestly doesn't want to separate with him. It's just came out to my mouth that I'm so fed up, I'm so done. It's because I'm so hurt and he's not gonna change. There's no way that he will change. All I know is if I didn't stop or I didn't make a move, it's gonna be a normal. He's gonna disrespect me, he's gonna disrespect my people, he's gonna disrespect anyone. So this is just me that, putting some boundaries.
Hate everything about me and what I provide and decide to leave.
He claims that I hated what he provides. As far as I remember, I'm always grateful for him. I'm always vocal, thanking him for what for my life right now. You can see my social media. I never criticizes him. It's always praising, even though there's something going on inside our house. I will never speak or talk about our fights on my social media. It's because I am protecting him and I'm protecting my children. We have kids, you know. The next 10-20 years there's gonna be social media and they might see this. I think it's really selfish for him to post for views, for attention, for sympathy. If you can go up here and talk to me and you will say to people that out of transparency I will talk about it, but you are transparent to the public but you are not transparent to me. Just for clarification too, half of the trip paid by his ex-wife. All of the park tickets, Universal and also Disney World, it was paid by his ex, and also the Airbnb and the grocery. I just wanted to let you know too that we have a really good relationship with the ex-wife, and to be honest with you, she's really nice to my kids and she's really nice to me. She's like my closest mother here in Hawaii. I can talk to her anytime, and you know, she's really a good person. And I remember when we were in the mainland, she told us, my parents and me, and she said that this is my gift to you. You are wondering why my parents came over, because we supposedly go back to the Philippines for 3 months, just me and the kids. It's because I am really homesick. I've been here for 2 years. He promised me that we're gonna go back to the Philippines at least once or twice a year, but that never happened. And so I kept on telling him that I need to go back. It's because we have activities, like my ate is gonna get married, my big sister, and I am the maid of honor. And also I wanted to do some christening for the kids, and also I wanted to spend Christmas with my whole family. It's been 2 years since they haven't seen Race and they haven't met Rocky, because I gave birth to Rocky here in Hawaii. And you know, it's just really family thing. You need to go back, and it's just sad. It's because fast forward to the booking day, I already booked going back to the Philippines, and then that same day he canceled it too. It's because he said that I'm ungrateful. It's because I didn't said thank you right away. It's because at that time I got excited. It's because the ex-wife said that she's gonna come. Same day, the same exact day when he booked it, he canceled it right away. And you know, I don't have any choice. It's because I don't have money. I don't have any control about.
And I discovered through text that she had been discussing this with her family and making plans to also take the children.
My ate, my big sister, is back in the Philippines. I contacted her about what's going on here. And then I told her that my mom is gonna go back same date with my papa. And she needs to book for my ate. But that didn't happen. It's because they had to rebook the ticket for them to go back to the Philippines. It's earlier because my papa supposedly go back to the Philippines on January 5th. But that didn't happen. They went back home yesterday, December 30, and they arrived at December 31. You know what's really sad is that my parents are very excited, especially my papa. He thought that it's gonna be a great trip, but it's disaster. They came here just to be disrespected. They stress na sobrang stress na mga mukha nila, alam mo yun.
Now, in a video, she was talking about the fact that she really did not want to separate from the guy, but he has been disrespecting her mother and father, and she couldn't take it that he was disrespecting her parents. Even though she can take the disrespect, but she could not take the disrespect to her parents. Now, she also talked about the fact that she was going to the Philippines because she has been in the US for 2 years, and he promised when she was moving to the US that they would go back to the Philippines like twice a year, so that at least she can see her family, she can go to her home country and for 2 years he has not done that. She also talked about the fact that the trip to Disney World was funded by his ex-wife, and that his ex-wife has been very good to her and offering advice and support. She talked about the fact that she doesn't really have money. She talked about the fact that she's always grateful to him, and she keeps on saying thank you, and she has never like disrespected him or been ungrateful. Anyway, he followed up with a video, and I found that video very weird.
Welcome to the top floor of my 4-story mansion in Honolulu, Hawaii on New Year's Eve 2025. And you know why I know that my Americanized Filipino wife is not going to leave me? She's pregnant. She may not love me, she may not want me, but she needs me. And that's what love is based on, need. Don't fucking kid yourselves, okay? Let's enjoy this New Year's Eve.
My Filipino wife has been Americanized. My Americanized Filipino wife. That seems to be triggering a lot of people. Let me explain what I mean. In America, if a wife, even a girlfriend, is not happy in the relationship, all she has to say to the world on social media, and especially to the government, I'm not happy. And if she drops the word abused or anything along those lines, the American system steps in. It steps in to protect her against any allegations that she makes. And the man's side of the story is, it's all assumed. I'm an evil, controlling, patriarchal, oppressive white dude. And the narrative quickly, instantly becomes me bad, she victim. So the fight that we're having, that's still there. Okay, that's always going to hang over my head. I'm a passport bro. I brought her here. I married her here. I signed all the government forms saying that I will support her for a minimum of 10 or 1,000 years. I don't know. I don't even know what I signed. And all you dudes out there who have been through this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Americanized means weaponization of the male-female relationship to benefit the female, because family court is not a judicial system, it's a corporation. For profit, digging into the pockets of dads, of men. Because, yeah, we're in a patriarchal system and men still have most of the money. Now, that's exactly what's true in our relationship. She doesn't have any money. I have all the money. And it's, you know, a relationship can go south when the woman has lost love for her man and she's just going for the bag. And if she goes for the bag, she's going to get a huge portion of that. That's what I mean by Americanized. Jayan is solidly Filipina, and that comes with a lot of stuff. And one of those things is she's going to be fiercely defensive for her family, her mom and dad. And this whole fight is hinging on the fact that I disrespected her mom and dad. Never mind that they disrespected me too. We'll get into that later. But Jayan is not Americanized in that she's materialistic or even greedy. But she senses and she knows the support that she would get if things really got ugly between us. The American system is on her side, not mine, not the man's. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Okay, that's it for now. More later. Happy New Year. Thanks for watching. My Filipino wife has been Americanized. My Americanized Filipino wife. That seems to be triggering a lot of people. Let me explain what I mean.
No, Chad. I love that your name is Chad. Please, let me explain to people what you mean when you say your Filipino wife has become Americanized. What you mean by that is that you never thought that you would be the one to lose the control in the relationship, right? Because you were the big, rich American that went to the Philippines and found some young girl who's, 30 years your junior, who I'm guessing didn't come from a ton of money and didn't have a ton of opportunities. And you essentially entered into this business agreement with her, right? In exchange for her marrying you, having children with you, enduring whatever it takes to be married to you and do the things that you consider a traditional wife to do.
You would provide for her a certain lifestyle, a lifestyle that, included, money and, provide for her whatever she needed. And she agreed. But what you never counted on, because you thought, because you had all the money, you had all the power and control, was that one day she was going to stand up to you and say, fuck this. Because from what it sounds like, there was only so much she was willing to endure. And she drew the line when you were disrespectful to her parents. And I don't know if this was planned, coincidental, or just poetic, but this all happened just about 2 years after you'd been married. And now you're hiding in the basement, having your mantrum, missing Christmas with your own children because you were stomping your feet at the fact that your wife told you no. And what's wild to me, Chad, is that you entered into this knowing exactly what you were getting yourself into.
Why did you marry me?
Because I don't want to work.
I don't know, Chad. I'm just really surprised that you're surprised. The terms of your agreement seemed very clear to me. They just didn't extend to you treating her parents like shit. You reap what you sow, Chad. And I cannot tell you how deeply satisfying it is for me to tell you that as an Asian American woman.
Welcome to the top floor of my 4-story mansion in Honolulu, Hawaii on New Year's Eve 2025. And you know why I know that my Americanized Filipino wife is not going to leave me?
Why?
She's pregnant. She may not love me, she may not want me, but she needs me.
He originally got on here and talked about how his Filipino wife that he's 30 years older than only wanted to be with him for citizenship, but she said, I don't even want to be a citizen. I want to go back to my country. She left you because you were disrespectful to her and to her parents, allegedly. So this just proves that you thought you could buy a wife. You didn't go to her country looking for love. You were looking for a desperate woman that you could control. And now you're throwing up, crying, sliding down the wall, and fighting the air in a mansion because you thought you could buy all women, and she's showing you that not every woman is for sale, even if she does come from a poorer country. You only think she's Americanized because she's standing up for herself, but there are other women in other countries who stand up for themselves too. And I don't care how many small countries you globetrot over to, you're going to find that out the hard way every single time. She's probably been poor before. Being poor only scares you. That woman will probably go back to her country and be perfectly fine. You're the one who's worried about it. What you should be worried about is why would a woman give up all that you say you have to offer rather than deal with a man like you? You're not online asking, why did she leave me? You're saying, how dare she leave me? And that difference is probably why she left.
Now, I have a video where I talked about passport bros. Passport bros are those guys from Western countries who go to countries where the economy is not as buoyant as the US or Canada or UK, and they go to look for women that they can marry, women that they deem traditional, because they feel like the women in their countries are not traditional enough and they are looking for traditional wives. And in going to those countries like the Philippines, Jamaica, even African countries, like some of them have come to Nigeria, Kenya, and the rest. Those ones, they feel like the women in those countries are more traditional and they take care of their husbands, take care of their children. They are not very confrontational like the women in the US, UK, Canada, Australia, and the rest of the countries where the passport bros come from. And in that video, I talked about the fact that I did not know that that was what they were called, and that I personally, growing up as a Nigerian, what those kind of relationship, especially from our side, I'm talking about the side where the men come to marry the traditional wives. People look at those marriages most times with the eye of, this is a green card marriage, in which most of the time when the women marry the men and they relocate to their country, so usually US, Canada, UK, after the wives have acclimatized, they were stable in the country, they know their way about the country and know what to do. Most times, no, maybe I should not say most times, sometimes, I think that's the best description for it. Sometimes those marriages end up in divorce because the ladies will say they are no more interested in the marriage and up and leave. And so when he was talking about how after 2 years she decided to leave, I'm like, I don't know what he was expecting, but it's not a surprise to me. Now, as I watched his video, the first video, the one that went viral, when he was talking about after 2 years of being Americanized, his wife has left him. What I noticed from the video is that he was very proud of the fact that he had a 4-story house. He was very proud of the fact that he has money. So what I got from it was that he's so arrogant that he has money, and he cannot imagine that after he has provided for the Filipino wife, she has the effrontery, the guts to leave after he brought her to the US. And that was what I got when I was watching his video. Now, when I watched his wife's video, there was a weird feeling I got from the video. It was obvious that she was trying not to like offend him. So she was saying she's doing this, she's doing that she never wanted to separate, but that she reached her peak, especially when he started disrespecting her parents, and that she has always been grateful to him. She's also talking about the fact that she didn't have money, so she's not really like going to disrespect him and just up and leave. So what I got from it was that she's trying not to offend him. She definitely is not financially secure. She relies on him a lot, and she doesn't want a case where the relationship would be over for good. But she needed to leave, especially because she was saying that he disrespected her parents, and she's probably from a family where they hold family ties strongly, and she did not like that he was doing that to her parents. If his video is not rage bait kind of video, and their back and forth is not them being rage bait, because there are some crazy internet couples that do things just to trend, from his video I can see him disrespecting her parents, because he's feeling like he's the one that has brought her, that has paid for her, that has done a lot of things. They paid for things, provided for her. Now, what is she bringing to the table apart from taking care of his kids? That she should be grateful. In fact, if it's possible, you want her to be bowing down and be greeting him and say, "Thank you, your lordship, for taking care of me, for taking care of the kids. Thank you for providing for us." That's what he would love. Because the second video that he made, where he said that he knows that she can never leave him because she's pregnant, she needs him, and that's what marriage is all about, that she might not love him, but she needs him. It's just solidified my intuition that this guy is proud and arrogant and probably financially abusing her. He's using his finances, he's using the fact that she doesn't have money, he's using the fact that she's an immigrant to manipulate her. And then he's now also probably using kids to manipulate her. Because when I checked the comment, somebody said, I hope, I think the person said, I hope she gets family and friends and she's able to leave him. And it was saying family and friends cannot provide for her and something like that. It was a comment that just supported my feeling that he is actually probably using finances to manipulate her and keep her in the house. Now, this whole situation shows what the passport bros actually like, which is to control and manipulate their women. Now, the women in their countries refuse to be manipulated, because for her now, she's thinking of probably the fact that she's an immigrant in the US, and if she separates from him, she might not have any reason to stay in the US. She's probably thinking of how she's going to afford to take care of her kids. She's probably thinking of the fact that he might take her kids from her. And those kind of things are what she's going to be looking at and deciding if she's going to go back to him. She's more likely to go back to him if she really wants to be in the US. Now, if she feels like she'd be better off in the Philippines, she might just up and live with the kids, if it's possible for her to up and live. But I don't know if she really wants to be in the US, if that was her dream, and If that was her dream, she is definitely going to be under the control of the guy and will have no choice but to go back to him, because even if she gets a lot of money and she's able to go to the court and try and get her kids and get child support and something, I don't know if she can legally stay in the US without a spousal visa or something, except she marries another person and they are going to look at it like, okay, you're just divorcing and you're getting married. It's all a scam and something like that.
Hey guys, I just wanted to give you an update. I am safe and the kids are safe, and I just wanted to thank all of you for your positive comments, supporting me through this process. And I just wanted to let you guys know that I am not setting up any GoFundMe or any donations. It's because I don't want to disappoint people, and part of my culture, as much as possible, especially you have children, if you can work things out, just work things out. Since the day that I shared my side of the story, we have been talking, and also we came up to some resolutions and conditions that now that I am 6 weeks pregnant, I am going back to the Philippines on my second trimester. I know it's not a good idea for me to go back to the Philippines because something might happen, but for me it's really important for me to go back. It's because this is also one of our problems, one of the root of our problems, that me longing to my home country and him thinking that I don't like to be in here. So we're just resolving little by little. I just wanted to clarify too that I am not getting any allowance and I don't have credit card. So everything that I am purchasing, I have to ask permission, and this needs to be discussed. So if you want something, we're gonna discuss it. This is how our marriage works. Honestly, I'm not the typical Filipina that's sending money to support my family back home, and I cannot send any money because I don't have it, first of all. And also, my family have a business in Manila. We have businesses there. Our parents send us to a nice school growing up, so basically we have the money growing up. And I honestly have to say this, that I have eaten really great restaurants back home than here because it's really expensive here. Anyway, just wanted to say thank you everybody.
Now, this kind of situation where the woman is forced to be in that relationship, forced to be in that marriage, forced to go back to him, would not happen with a citizen from that country, a citizen from the passport rule country. So that's one thing they will not be able to have over the heads of the women in their country, which they would not like, which is why they are always like, oh, I'm going to this country to go and marry a traditional wife. The women in USA are not traditional. They are always trying to get back. They are always talking back. They cannot take care of their men, blah, 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 and all the things that they used to use to try and shame women in the US, UK, and Canada. Anyway, they know that control is not there because a citizen of the country is not going to get kicked out. So that part is not there. Another control that they have over these other women is the fact that those women might not be able to access the best job because they are immigrants and they might not have all the skills or the experience in the new country. As for example, in the US, that someone that is a citizen would already have, and be able to get access to more jobs that would also improve their financial capability. So the manipulation that they could have over them through with the finances, it might not be as strong as with someone from their home country, someone from, for example, the US. So that's why a lot of them go to the countries with traditional women and then begin to try and abuse the women when they relocate to their own country. Anyway, I don't know what you guys think about this whole situation. Do you think that the wife was being honest and saying that she has been disrespected by her husband and that's why she just decided she wanted to separate? Do you think the husband is a bit arrogant and is financially abusing and manipulating his wife? Or do you think that this whole situation, this whole scenario is just rage bait for views for both parties? Anyway, I would love to hear your thoughts about this whole situation. So please leave your comments in the comment section so that we can get this discussion popping. Now, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not yet subscribed and you like videos such as this, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe. And don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now, with all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.